think it's a fantastic place. I think we have to see it as a place where it's not just, is it a good place for me, but it's a place where I need to be to make sure that the communities are seen and supported throughout developments, that all the benefits are looked at not only for feasibility, viability, but the impact on communities. And we're building lives, we're building neighbourhoods. And for a person like myself, a black woman who grew up in Moss Side, it's important for me to be part of the story.
I don't think anybody can truly know where we are, but it certainly feels like there's increased inward investment into the UK market for us. Clearly, with what's going on in the US at the moment, and there's a level of uncertainty which is going to affect whether we sort of peter along at the bottom of the market for a while rather than we're seeing an uplift. And for me, and this is pure speculation, I see that it might be, rather than seeing an uplift in the next quarter, it might be 2 or 3 quarters away. Just for, as I say, there's clearly some disturbance in the market with what the US is doing at the moment, and we don't really know what effect that's going to have.
I think there's a lot of enthusiasm about the real estate sector, because there is this momentous drive, especially in London, to deliver the new government's ambitions for 1.5 million homes over the next few years, and how the real estate built environment industries are going to organize themselves to meet that challenge. So there's this sense of optimism, there's this sense of drive, there's this sense of shared ambition to have to do that. And the important thing for us architects is, how do you do this? Engage and do it in a high quality way that is fit for the next generation.
I think people were complaining about the last year being slow, and that was a bit of was that year slow? Is it going to drift into this year, and is it going to be slow? That was one topic. London is feeling optimistic, actually. I've just had a lunch with a lot of contractors. They say they have never been so busy. Quantity surveyors saying the same, contractors saying the same. People are really excited about their pipelines finally moving, really.
Well, look, this is incredible Mipim for London. I mean, I've been coming here for 20 years, and I think actually the magic felt quite alive here. The fact we had the Mayor of London with us, we've had the most borough leaders here, we've got a really good pipeline of investment opportunities. And, you know, we are operating in a global race for capital. And you think about some of the economic headwinds in other parts of the world, you think about political risk. It feels to us, talking to a lot of investors here at Mipim this year, they're long on London, they see it as a safe place to invest, it's liquid, and they want to get more schemes and increase their deployment. So for Team London here, it's been a very good Mipim for us.
There's so many opportunities to invest in the UK that then, once the council start to look at the impact that those investments can have on those neighbourhoods and areas, that's where the opportunity comes. So you have the investment come in, you have the councils with the plans, and then you have the plans need to reflect and speak out for the visions and the areas where we're investing. So if all that happens, it can work fantastically well, and investment is welcomed into this country. I think it's a great opportunity.
I mean, the biggest challenge at the moment is probably a level of uncertainty within the market and the risk that sits with that. Dries and Summer is an international business as well, so we're not just about the UK market. So some of the challenges we face would be in the German market, for instance. So we're a German-owned business, so we certainly see there's a lot more stresses within that marketplace. But the UK market, very vibrant, there's a lot going on, and we see that as being a real growth area for our business overall.
Look, I still think for London, the cost of capital, those interest rates are sticky for us. You think about some of the big global institutions, they want to deploy, but just getting the viability, the numbers to work, you know, it's still some stickiness there that we need to work through. So I think some of that's beyond us. But if we can take some of the friction out in terms of the timeline to get stuff built out, in terms of the planning process, in terms of sort of the JV structures, which we do want to do in London in particular, both in the public and private sector, that's really going to help. I think the planning bill that was announced this week while we've been down here in Mipim in the UK, that's really going to speed up the planning process. But I think we just need to be realistic on viability. You know, the world has moved on from pre-COVID, cost of capital, and I think if we want to get more institutional money, whether it's the houses, the commercial workspace, the infrastructure and transport and energy transition, we're going to have to be quite honest about what those numbers need to do to get that investment.
there is a lot to be excited about. I am generally optimistic. I think all of the challenges that are happening in America has made London a really exciting place to be. It's a great place to spend 100 million quid. We've got a great rule of law. We've got a centrist government. We've got a mayor who's the same political party as the main government. There's lots that is aligning up. There are Americans here for the first time, which I haven't seen for many years. I think that's really good. So I am optimistic. Some of the pitfalls, there's no silver bullet. This is going to be a lot of hard work, and it's going to take quite a few years. It's going to be multi-sector, and there are going to be ups and downs. So I think it's easy, the sort of Valhalla of getting great work in the Gulf, and it's all going to be fantastic. I think the problems we have in London are real, but I think we've got the talent and the intellect and the ambition to overcome it.